you get to fix one thing, only one thing, in your term in Congress, what is it and why?
Well, the most important thing is to get money to improve our infrastructure here in the North State. And you do that by convincing both Republicans and Democrats that we need infrastructure repairs across the nation. And then when we talk them into it, we make sure we get our fair share. And my main thing is talking them into investing in infrastructure by showing how to pay for it. The Army Corps of Engineers estimates it's going to cost $4 trillion nationwide to fix our infrastructure. I know how to fix that.
How can a Democrat represent a red part of the state?
Well, to me, that's real easy. For one, I'm actively involved in talking to everybody in the district. My values as a Democrat are very conservative. If you go look at my website, you'll see that, I've actually been labeled by the Tea Party at several events around the district as a libertarian. So I'm very fiscally conservative, I'm responsible, and I am accessible and accountable to the electorate. And I'm sorry to say my opponent is not.
If elected, what would be the first thing you'd want to accomplish?
There are so many things I would like to accomplish, but I think we first need to address our substance abuse, mental health, and homelessness issues in Shasta County. If we want to attract new businesses and inspire people to come here and retire here and raise their families here, we need to basically clean up our county. We need to help those that need a hand up, and I'm a firm believer in helping those whenever we can. There's so many other issues in District 3. It's 100 miles long from one end to the other, but I think that's our number one issue. Thank you.
What's the one thing your constituents tell you they want the county to stop doing?
Stop doing probably our planning department and resource management. They have a lot of problems with permit issues there. And one of the things we need to do if we want to get homeless and criminals taken care of, we need to generate money with more businesses, and we need to make it more attractive to come there and start small businesses. I don't care if it's 2 employees, 5 employees. That'll help with the tax base. That'll help with the buying power of the people that are working, and that'll put more money in our coffers.
What's one thing the county should do to help alleviate homelessness?
The one thing that they should do is provide more money and the consortium of care. I know it's been bounced around that the county and the city have joined together to figure out what they really want to do. I know that one of the Reading city councilors, they worked very hard for 18 months on trying to set this program up. And I believe that the consortium of care, or whatever they want to call it.
You've talked about outsourcing various city services. What should be the first service the city should outsource, and why?
Well, the thing with it is when I talk about outsourcing city services, it's getting the city employees' attention to where we can have them bargain to start taking care of the unfunded pensions. Outsourcing is not my number one thing. It's been made into that, but that's really not what it is. What I'm really wanting to do is get the employees' attention so that we can open the negotiations so that we could start having them pick up a larger portion of the unfunded part of the CalPERS pension plan.
If Reading was a patient visiting a psychologist, what would the diagnosis be?
PTSD. We have years of problems, and with the closing of the inpatient psychiatric unit in 2003, we definitely have PTSD. We've been spiraling downward. That's a good one.
If medical marijuana is legalized, should Reading jump in and try to profit?
I think that we, first of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today. I think that that is an option that needs to be explored. It is a huge source of tax revenue, and right now the industry exists in Shasta County, and there's a lot of irresponsible people that are in this industry. I would rather see it in the light, regulate it, know who's producing it, know where it's going, and make the tax revenue from that industry.
You say Reading needs a vision and a mission statement. What mission statement would you want for Reading, and why?
Ooh, what a great question. Yeah, I think we all need to, this is just such an important question. What do we want our city to look like in 10 or 20 years? And vision really helps you direct where you want to go. And vision is really related to identity and assets. So this is what I'm going to say for vision for Reading. I see Reading as a lifestyle city cultivating tomorrow's economy. Reading is creative. Reading is tech. Reading is the river city that has it all.
What's your vision for Anderson's downtown?
Vision for it downtown is to bring in an atmosphere where people want to hang out, spend money, spend time, and downtown would be East Center Street more than anything. We need to bring in the funding to update the buildings, but a cafe type area for students and people just hang out and visit.
What's one thing you still want to achieve as a city councilwoman?
I still think that we need to buff up the personnel that is in city council right now, or city hall right now. We need more personnel. There's too many people that have too many hats in city hall. We reduced big time a few years ago. All those, one person, think about 400-acre plus park at Anderson, in Anderson, the Anderson River Park. One person is mowing that lawn. We need more people.
The sales tax fails. How do city leaders respond?
Well, it's not going to fail. I'm very confident that it's going to pass, and when it does, we're going to have 256 additional beds. That's going to bring accountability to those who are doing bad things in this community. We're going to be able to get people to rehabilitative services. We're going to have a proactive police force, and we're going to get mental health services to those who need it. So that's my pivot. If it does not, which I don't think is likely, we'll do what all leaders do. You roll up your sleeves, you look at the resources you have available, and you work with other people.
Excuse me. If the sales tax passes, how do you make sure the money is spent as promised?
Oh, if the sales tax passes and I'm a city councilman, I'll be right there with my hat on saying, well, watch out where the money goes. I'd love to be on there if it passes, which I don't think it will pass. If it's going to be awfully close. But I'll watch every dime of that money, see where it goes.
Give us 3 reasons why this bond measure should pass.
First reason, we need to have a learning institution. We have one that exists right now in Shasta County and the surrounding counties, but we need to improve the infrastructure. If you think of anything that was built in 1967 through 1972, it needs help. Right now we need to update number one, we need to create a better infrastructure from a power standpoint, so computers and everything else were up to date. 2, we're going to put in a situation where we're going to train people how to do plumbing, electrical, and that was a three questions.
Well,
Man.
you gotta
I
get
should get
quick,
10
man.
seconds for each.
No, man. It's
How
10
fast
seconds
can you
each,
go?
man. 10 seconds each. Why should voters choose you over Lamalfa?
Well, there's a number of reasons, but the main thing is I will be working for the people of this district. I think Doug tends to be working for himself. Does well with agricultural subsidies, does well selling water to Southern California. But what we need is somebody who will actually work for the people of the district, and that would be me.
If elected, what's the first law you'd introduce to benefit the North State?
Well, the first law, that's kind of to me, a complicated question. I mean, the first issue, we need better paying jobs. I think law-wise, we have to look at, for me, tax incentivization needs to be used to enhance and establish business people coming to this community from outside the district. And of course, to accomplish that, we need high-speed internet, which is a whole other issue. But definitely use the tax code to encourage businesses to come here and improve our local economy.
Here we go. If elected, what's the first thing you'd try to change?
One of the first things I would try to change, and I hit on it earlier this morning, is I think we need to look at public safety and crime, which is somehow, to a degree, interrelated with mental illness, homelessness, and substance abuse. If we could get at the foundation of dealing with our substance abuse issues in Shasta County, that would hopefully reduce our statistics in terms of property crime. Shasta County has doubled the state average statistically of a lot of our social issues. And so I think those issues we need to address and then work on other things.
Thanks. What's the one thing you still want to accomplish as supervisor?
Well, I think what we need to accomplish, what's currently going on right now, we've got a problem with homelessness and crime. I think we need the Crisis Intervention Center to get enacted, and also the Sobering Center. We are building the ARC, the Adult Rehabilitation Center. they'll have 64 beds. I actually voted for 128 beds. I got beat down by the rest of the supervisors, so we ended up with 64, which was, it wasn't good. We needed the 128. We needed 101 beds right now. So I think we need to make sure that those work out and they actually materialize.
Should the county follow Shasta Lake's practice of allowing marijuana dispensaries? Why or why not?
Well, in my way of thinking, if the marijuana initiative passes, I think Shasta County should embrace the marijuana as an agricultural product. The rules and regulations are in place, and the county could make a ton of money. Reading could make a ton of money. Look at the money that City of Shasta Lake has made in 1 year, $375,000 that went into our general fund. Now think about how much bigger that would be for the county and for the city of Reading, and they need to act.
All right, there you go. Who would you consider your main supporters?
Main supporters in the city are the residents of the city of Reading. Biggest part of what I've been trying to do is keep pension costs down, keep the city of Reading in a viable position financially, which the unfunded pensions are up over $300 million that we are going to pay in the next 25 years. So this is a tremendous problem we have, and we need to be able to get the city staff and city employees' attention to where we can start working on this issue.
How could Reading better address mental health needs of its residents?
Well, we're looking at Measures D&E upcoming that will send funds to city and county. We are having a serious problem with mental health access at this time, and as it's been stated before, mental health, substance abuse, crime, safety, all related, and for the future of Reading, we need to pass this Measure D&E.
What's one hurdle stopping more people from installing solar systems that you want to do something about?
I want to thank everyone for being here today, and as a past chairman of the Reading Electric Utility Commission, I'm aware of a lot of the hurdles that are faced by people trying to install solar. One of them is older households. We require a lot of engineering on households if your house was built before 1970 that other jurisdictions don't require. So it makes it very difficult for anyone with a house older than 1970 to install solar, and that's something that we could easily change.
At least to the record Searchlight, and maybe to others, you have mentioned that you think Reading should look to Bend, Oregon for inspiration. What's one aspect of Bend that residents should try to bring here?
I think Bend has done a beautiful job of understanding their identity and creating vision around their assets, their natural beauty, and the talented people that are there. And that's just something that we could model. We have a similar economic history, so really figuring out how to brand and market, identify our assets, and human scale them. That's something that Bend has done brilliantly. So that's a great model for us.
All right. And I'll ask her too, since she came and the others didn't, so she get extra time. So the first one was one for you. Should Anderson allow marijuana grows and dispensaries if Prop 64 is passed?
Well, we've already taken a stand in the city of Anderson to say no to dispensaries. Our biggest issue in the way of what does this say to our children, yes, they are our future, and yes, the state has said it. I think it's a discussion that it's hard for me to say because it is a council decision. We'd all have to discuss it, but as of right now, we have said no.
What can the council do to get more stores in the outlet mall?
We've been proactive in trying to woo businesses to the city of Anderson. We go to a retail convention in Las Vegas each year. We send our city manager, and we really would love big businesses to come on down to Anderson. We are business friendly. We want to work and help businesses come to Anderson and bring their revenue.
When was the last time Shasta College issued a bond, and why does it need another one?
Okay, Shasta College issued a bond in 2002, and well, it voted on a bond in 2002. There were two issuances, one in 2002, one in 2006. That was primarily to provide new facilities is what those were used for, like the Health Science Center, the Tehama campus, an early childhood education center on the main campus. The new one we'll have some new stuff, but it's mainly to update our older facilities to drive us into the future for the next 30 to 50 years.
Okay, thanks. You have said that you are against Measures D&E. What kind of sales tax measure that benefits public safety could you support?
Well, first of all, I'm against D&E, so I'm not really in a position to want to say that I'm in favor of something. But if there was one, I think it probably should be a county, city, county, because part of the present D&E is money's going to go to county, 30 million to the sheriff and 10 million to mental health. So I think that we need to really, when the city's going to give the sheriff money, or the county money, let's not blame the sheriff, but the county money, are we sure where it's going to go? Because they're not going to build a new courthouse at any time soon.
All right. What's one priority you still want to accomplish, and what makes you believe you can do it?
One priority, can I have that be 1A, B, and C? I mean, really, the bottom
You got
line is
30 seconds.
bringing jobs to the North State. That would include a lot of different angles with infrastructure. We could be building road projects, building water storage projects, levee projects, and putting people, you know, we have a homeless problem that is just mounting up. We can put those folks to work. Also, by having a strong economy, we'll have money in the coffers to be able to help people that need it. Our veterans, our VA, needs to be straightened out. So jobs economy, bringing the jobs back to this country. We have $2 trillion overseas. We got to bring it
There you
home.
go.
Thank you.